This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Starrentino. Thank you for joining us.
And I'm Mark Mullins, bringing you the news from my home tonight. Governor Eric Holcomb says he will sign an executive order tomorrow allowing Stage 3 of Indiana's plan to reopen to begin Friday in most parts of the state. That's 2 days earlier than originally scheduled. Here's what that next step means. Gyms and fitness centers can open with social distancing guidelines. Social gatherings can include up to 100 people. Community pools and campgrounds can open. And retail stores and malls can open at 75% capacity. Governor Holcomb says Hoosiers still need to do their part to help prevent coronavirus from spreading.
What I don't want to see happen is we let our guard down, or we're not vigilant, or we think, well, it's just, you know, they say this is the most important week every week, and so therefore it can't be. Well, it is, and our actions matter. And so as time goes by, I hope we don't let down our guard.
Friday's reopening plan does not include Marion County. Marion County can move forward to Stage 3 on June 1st at the earliest. Right now, Marion County is not even in Stage 2 in many aspects. For example, dining in restaurants is still restricted. Only outdoor dining will be allowed starting Friday, and personal services businesses are not allowed to be open, including salons and barbershops.
And those salons and shops have been closed since March. June 1st is also the earliest they will be allowed to open under Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogstett's order. Many business owners are not happy about it. WRTV's Cameron Riddle caught up with stylists and barbers as they protested restrictions they say discriminate against their industry and craft.
These salons deserve to be open. These barbershops deserve to be open.
It's been nearly 3 months since these Marion County barbers and stylists were able to do their jobs.
For every day that they keep us closed and let the other counties around us be open, we are losing so much money.
Rita Stevens owns a salon on Indy's far west side, just inside the Marion-Hendricks County line. She organized the peaceful protest today in downtown Indianapolis. She says she's not trying to make political waves, just trying to get city and county leaders to understand that barbershops and salons are safe.
But I love my mayor. I love my governor. I don't want it to be about politics. That is not why we're here. We are here to make them understand that I have 14 stylists that went to school and they have learned so much about sanitizing. More than any retail center, more than any hardware store. They didn't take classes on sanitation, and they've been open since day one.
Stevens is calling for an emergency reopening of her industry. That reopening would provide income to stylists and barbers who are considered self-employed or gig workers. Barber Brian Lomax is still waiting for help.
It's a nightmare because I'm still yet to hear anything. And I take it I'm not the only one, because there's other barbers and stylists that hasn't received or heard anything either from unemployment. We just want to return to work. We just want to return to work, earn our money, and do what we love to do.
Downtown, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Well, some people who have been working on the front lines of the pandemic throughout the crisis are raising concerns themselves about their safety. Today, grocery store workers from around the country shared their fears.
I did not feel safe. I feel like I'm still at risk, that I could be taking this home to my children, to my grandchildren, to my spouse.
The employees are downright scared and afraid to ask somebody to put on a mask because of the retaliation we get from it.
The president of the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union estimates that at least 68 grocery store workers have died from COVID-19 and more than 10,000 have gotten sick. Now, as many companies phase out hazard pay, the union sent a letter to top supermarket chains saying they're failing to provide employees the pay and protections necessary given the risks they face.
In all these cases, this pay cut is essential to these workers. And it's being taken away, even though these respective companies are experiencing record sales and profits and higher productivity. The pay is being cut. The pay cut is being implemented, even though the grocery workers are still dying, and not a single state, major city, for that matter, or county has returned us to anything resembling the pre-COVID-19 normal.
The union is calling on companies to immediately reinstate hazard pay until the need to wear masks and other protective measures are no longer necessary. Mark Perrone says no major retailer or supermarket has publicly released how many of their workers have died or gotten sick from the coronavirus.
And across Indiana, 1,716 people have died from COVID-19, according to the latest update from the State Department of Health. 38 new deaths were reported between May 3rd and yesterday. More than 195,000 people have been tested for the virus. 15% have tested positive. When it comes to Indiana's healthcare system, the state says 39% of beds are available in intensive care units, and 80% of ventilators are available.
This is Tiaja Evans. She's currently in the Johnson County Jail, and her partner is afraid she might contract COVID-19. Almost half of the jail's inmates have tested positive, 127 out of 261 nearly 2 weeks ago. Tonight, RTV6's Cornelius Hawker is talking to the sheriff of Johnson County, who says they're doing everything possible to keep inmates and staff safe.
Sheriff Dwayne Burgess wants to make it clear he and his staff see the humanity in the people who end up in their jail.
I understand people that are in jail also have families outside of here. Things on the outside affect them in here. So we try to do the best we can.
That's why he immediately started looking into the concerns I sent him about Tiaja Evans, who has been in the Johnson County Jail for a little more than a week. Tiaja's loved ones say she's sharing a cell with 3 other women, one who could potentially be sick.
You might be having issues being in another cell with other people, but I'm trying to look out for your safety as well. Every day we're trying to move people around to make it a little bit easier on them.
It's truly heartbreaking because these are people's family members and this COVID is serious.
Zarian Conrad is dating Tiaja and says it's been hard hearing her talk about living in a crowded, small jail cell and under nearly 24-hour lockdown with limited opportunities to shower.
And I'm not saying it's supposed to be luxurious during jail, you know what I mean? But I'm saying it should be standard, everything that it should be cleaned up. It shouldn't be a privilege for a shower. Like a shower should be mandatory.
They messaged me saying she hasn't had a shower only once in the past week. She's in a jail cell with 3 other women. One's pregnant, one may be sick. How are you addressing those concerns?
Well, we're all living with different types of restrictions. We try to address those the best that we can. On the 26th, that will be 14 days from when we had everybody tested. And that's a date that I can't wait to get here. Then we can kind of get back to some normal operations.
Normal operations that could see some of the quarantine restrictions lifted for inmates like Tiaja. Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Well, the sheriff encourages anyone concerned about their family members to call the jail and ask questions. He says that he's making all decisions based on a guidance from his medical staff. Tiaja's girlfriend says they found a lawyer and they are working on getting her out of jail.
Social distancing, isolation, and financial concerns can take a big toll on our mental health. The Rebound Indiana is sharing advice and resources you can use to cope with the impacts of the pandemic. Dr. Virginia Kane, director of the Marion County Public Health Department, is one of 3 experts who will discuss mental health issues faced by African-American women during a virtual town hall tomorrow evening. Dr. Kane says the main thing she wants women to take away from the conversation is to take care of themselves.
If you're ill, you're not going to be able to help anybody. If you're emotionally so sad, that translates those emotions, go to your family members, to your children, and it impacts them negatively. So the number 1 person we're telling you, take care of yourself.
Tomorrow's town hall is hosted by the Links Incorporated. Dr. Kane plans to share resources, ways to recognize mental health issues in children and adults, plus tips anyone can use to relieve anxiety. You can find the discussion streaming at 6 p.m. tomorrow on the WRTV Facebook page. And Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you to training and resources that can help you recover from the financial impact of the pandemic. The organization Employ Indy is working hard to help young adults transition back into the workforce, even though in-person services are not an option right now. Elias Steele is one of hundreds of thousands of Hoosiers who have lost their jobs in the past few months. A virtual coach provided by Employ Indy is helping her make ends meet during this difficult time and preparing her to rebound.
They do coaching, counseling. They have given me different resources to other places that can help with other bills as far as utilities. And they also have learning programs. Like if I wanted to further my education, she's given me the option to sign up for those type of programs.
Employ Indy has an ecosystem of organizations that engage young people through things like classes, basketball, and workshops. With those connections needed more than ever during the pandemic, Employ Indy is getting creative.
COVID-19 has pretty much come in and disrupted that process in ways in which none of us expected. But I am so proud of the ecosystem, our network of community-based organizations that we empower to offer those services, in the various ways in which they have quickly pivoted to utilize virtual services in order to stay engaged with the young people that they serve.
For more information on Employ Indy resources, go to hiringhoosiers.com or the RTV6 app and click on this story.
The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office says help from the community led investigators to a driver wanted in a deadly hit and run. Daniel Sullivan is accused of striking and killing a 70-year-old woman yesterday afternoon and then driving away. Alice Chamberlain was walking along Anthony Road near Cicero when the truck hit her. Investigators say they identified Sullivan as a suspect after sharing a description of the vehicle on social media.
Within hours, we had thousands of shares of that post. And again, thanks to your great work in our community, we were able to get the crucial tip that was able to break this case for us.
Sullivan is preliminarily charged with leaving the scene of a crash causing death.
We are dry and 56 degrees right now in Indianapolis. We'll talk about when we'll be at least 25 degrees warmer coming up.
It's a familiar sight this time of year. 8,500 cars cruising around downtown, but with the race and other month of May events postponed, this parade is a celebration of something else.
Z-Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
While the economy is slowly reopening, the COVID-19 pandemic is not over, and healthcare workers are still on the front lines. The community is working together to make sure they are not forgotten. Today, police officers, firefighters, and neighbors held a parade outside of a senior living facility on Pennsylvania Street. They drove by the Wellbrook of Carmel to celebrate staff members and residents. Organizers say the virus itself, as well as strict visitor restrictions, are taking a toll on residents, families, and associates. Officials hope the parade helped lift everyone's spirits. Indianapolis Motor Speedway also honored frontline workers today. A parade of Indianapolis 500 Camaros drove past Methodist, University, and Riley hospitals. The month of May, of course, is much different for IMS this year due to the pandemic. All 500 festival events have been postponed or canceled.
So these cars aren't out and about in the way that they normally would. So they've been sitting here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we started brainstorming as a group what would be a great way to put them to use.
That was pretty awesome, and it was a nice relief to get away from our floor for a little bit, you know, because it's pretty hectic. But it's really nice, you know, they took the time out to come and support us and show them that they love us and appreciate us. So it was nice.
Rev Indy came up with the idea to use the cars to honor healthcare workers. The Indy 500, by the way, would have been this Sunday, but it has been postponed until August 23rd.
It is so weird to think about that, Mark and Kevin. It was nice to see those cars being able to have the roof off because it was dry, thankfully. It's just still so gloomy outside.
They may have had the heat on inside the car, Amanda, with the convertible top down. Yeah, but as we get to the weekend, temperatures will be in the 80s. We'll have more on that in a second. It's been wet in Indianapolis, you know that, but not nearly as wet as Chicago. Chicago's had 8.5 inches of rain, which is their wettest May ever. The wettest May ever in Indianapolis is 10.10 inches. We both have more rain in the forecast as we move toward the Memorial Day weekend. This is why, at least in the short term, see this area of low pressure down in Kentucky and Tennessee. The rain coming back from Ohio, West Virginia. That may bring a few light showers into the eastern portions of the state tomorrow. But overall, the rain chances next 2 days are very low. The gradual warming trend really picks up pace as we get to the weekend, and our rain chances will go up with the weekend temperatures. As far as our chance next couple of days, just 20%. It's still a modest 40% chance for thunderstorms, mainly during the heat of the day, Saturday and Sunday. They're likely thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday of next week. Okay, you'll wake up tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy skies once again. Temperatures pretty much stuck in the 50s during the day tomorrow. More clouds than sunshine, and showers will be few and far between. The best chance will be in the eastern half of the state, along Interstate 70 east of Indianapolis toward Newcastle, Richmond, and then I-74 southeast toward Cincinnati. Temperatures tomorrow with that 20% chance of rain. Warmer than today. We only hit 58 today, so we make progress. We'll make it to 66. As you look at your forecast for Friday, a little more likely you're going to want to be outside a little more. Temperatures all the way up to 75 in many locations. Could be a little warmer than that to the south. To the north, these are about average for this time of year. Temperatures in central Indiana should hit 74 degrees. That just sets the stage, though, for our weekend forecast. Warmer temperatures for the eastern half of the country. It will play out like this. Memorial Day weekend, 40% chance of thunderstorms with temperatures low to mid 80s. Saturday and Sunday, thunderstorms become more likely on Monday, and the temperatures still stay close to the mid 80s. That chance for rain is still with us Tuesday and Wednesday. You need to be strategic. If you're trying to mow the lawn, you got to pick your spots here, but certainly you want to get everything in tip-top shape before we get back to Memorial Day and beyond, because it may turn a bit wet again.
Thank you, Kevin. Many restaurant dining rooms in most parts of Indiana have been back open for a week and a half. Workers and customers are still adjusting to the new normal. Our Brad Brown traveled to a historic restaurant in Morristown where service is a little different, but the recipes are the same.
Morristown has nestled along its spot on Highway 52 for a very long time, and for the past 11-plus decades, the Bluebird Restaurant has been part of that history.
We have had such great community support. It's just absolutely wonderful. They have been right on it with us. They're there to help us. It's great. We have a great community.
The Bluebird dates back to 1925. Donna and her family have been the proprietors of that tradition for the last 48 years. But these past several weeks have been like nothing they've seen before.
A challenge, something that makes you really think about how to rethink what you do.
They've recently welcomed diners back inside for a taste of home-style favorites.
Yeah, now you can see them, and it's great. It is wonderful. The comment they made when they sat at that table up there on Monday morning or Monday afternoon was, "It's so nice to sit down and eat." You know, so it's a need that we're filling. We're all about home cooking. Fried chicken is what we do the best. We like lumpy mashed potatoes. We make our gravy from scratch, and it's low fat because we use 2% milk.
They had to shut down their popular salad bar and buffet, but along with the regular menu, you can still get all of the Bluebird's best family style, including that chicken and some of the best pies around.
We created this 10-pack of chicken that comes with the potatoes, the gravy, the green beans, the rolls, and most importantly, pie. Because we make our pie from scratch, we use lard. The only way to go. It's nice to have people back. It's nice to walk through the dining room and there's people. It's weird to have all this space in here because, you know, we're usually trying to jam as many as you can. But it's nice to have the people back and to get back to that.
Donna and her mom are making those pies at the Bluebird. She says that Oreo pie has been their most popular flavor recently. I can tell you why. It's because it is delicious. Their sugar cream pie is top-notch as well. You can check the Bluebird Restaurant Facebook page for a look at their daily specials. We want to give a shout out to the Copper Kettle just a couple blocks up the street in Morristown. They are taking reservations for dine-in. They have carry-out available as well. There's more great chicken and home-style cooking there. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
Thanks, Brad, for the update there. Some students and parents are disappointed with how their school districts are handling graduation. Instead of a large ceremony surrounded by friends, relatives, and classmates, Franklin Central High School graduates signed up for individual time slots this week. They received their diplomas, walked across the stage, and took pictures. Each student was allowed to bring 2 guests with them.
It was short and it was sweet, and it was, get in, get out, and it was nice. It wasn't what you wanted, but that's what you got.
We all graduate individually. We all get our own transcript and all that, but together as a class, we did it. And I think that having a ceremony with all of us there is one way to really recognize that, this is a combined effort. We did all of this together. We survived 4 years of high school together.
Some districts are holding virtual ceremonies. Others are postponing them to later this summer.
I'm Dave First with another RTV6 Senior Salute, continuing our 2-month run of honoring the graduating spring sport athletes. We head to Cathedral to meet Grace Lorsung, rewriting the Irish softball record books with a .485 batting average, 25 home runs with 114 RBI. All City the last 3 years, and the inaugural winner of the Johnny Bench Award as the best catcher in the state. Grace will head to IU in the fall to continue her softball career, one of 9 seniors on the team, eyeing a state championship this season. We wish them all good luck after graduation. I'm Dave First with another RTV6 Senior Salute.
Just a buck, only at Hardee's.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Tonight, all 50 states are now trying to reopen their economies as the COVID-19 pandemic continues. Some people are pushing for containment, while others say the country is not reopening fast enough. ABC's Zoreen Shah has the latest on how Americans across the country are handling the crisis.
A nation trying to return to normal with both reservations and pushback for not moving fast enough. In Michigan, some barbers making a statement on their state capitol lawn, arguing for a faster reopen, giving free haircuts, many without face masks, some armed. And in Orlando, Vice President Mike Pence at a burger joint with Florida's governor, neither wearing masks, but everyone going through temperature checks. On Wednesday, Connecticut becoming the 50th state to partially reopen, but with precaution. Retailers at half capacity and outdoor spaced out seating.
Maybe 2 out of 10 don't have masks, and you got to say, you got to have a mask.
Companies now also taking precautions for future flights. Delta now with this pre-flight electrostatic spray for killing bacteria, a wipe down, and crew inspection. And Emory University researchers with positive news about antibodies potentially blocking against future COVID infections.
Those antibodies, at least, to the extent we've tested now, seem to correlate with blocking of viral infection.
Although they say it's unclear how long the antibodies offer protection. Now, not everything is getting a green light. Ford had to briefly close down 2 plants in Illinois and Michigan after 3 workers there tested positive for COVID-19. They say both plants will be back up and running by tonight, though. And the Navajo Nation, they have the country's highest per capita rate of COVID-19 infections, and their leaders are putting in place severe lockdown measures. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
If you need, call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Rise and shine. Actually, it'll be rise and more clouds than sunshine. Temperatures of 60 degrees late morning. We will end up warmer tomorrow than we were today. Temperature hits 65 or 66 with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Warmer on Friday.
Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. Good morning, Indiana. Starts at 4:30. Good night.